So give it up now for Ed O'Keefe. He's going to bring the energy and good stuff.
All right, testing 1, 2. How is everybody? Yeah, who's excited? Say, I'm excited. All right, so am I. Thanks, Avi. Dr. Mark, how amazing stuff. It's true, Avi was like, when he came to my first event, he's like, I didn't know he was 26. I was probably 27, so that makes a lot. He's like, hey, would it be okay if I followed you around for 4 days? And I was like, you want to come to my house and follow me around? Yeah, it'd be amazing. We could just talk marketing the whole time. I was like, just get ready to change diapers, and you guys will see in a second what I mean by that. And the answer was no, but we did end up, what they've built here is pretty incredible. Since this is the beginning of the event, what I'm going to ask you to do before we go into the marketing and all the tactical and strategical stuff, I'm going to ask you to do, it's going to take 60 seconds. How long? See, like the dental groups, you always got to warm them up first. Usually I tell bad jokes, you don't laugh, but by the end of the day, your sense of humor is going to catch up to my bad jokes, okay? So, and the way I do that is I just make fun of myself the whole time. Eventually someone catches up. How long is it going to take? 60 seconds? You're going to say, I want you to answer this question. What's one thing in the last 30 days I'm extremely proud of? What's one thing I'm extremely grateful for? And then the third thing is, what is one thing I'm super excited about? So one little lesson about facilitating is you always run people through it before you ask them to do the exercise. And so something I'm super, what was the first one I said? Proud of? So I'm super proud of that. This is kind of small, but I'll give it to you anyway. So I'm super proud that I actually booked my flight to leave on Sunday instead of flying out tonight. And it was partially because I have 7 kids. I'll show you the whole pictures now in a second. It's absolutely insane. 1 woman, same wife, still married. Yes, I am Catholic. It's the next question. Are you Mormon or Catholic? Do you live in a city or are you on a farm? All those questions, I gave you all the answers. One thing I'm super grateful for is all my kids are super healthy right now, okay? And then something I'm super excited about is actually getting to spend 2 days here and be a student. So I do have a booth, but I'm going to be in the back of most of the lectures. The clinical ones I'll stay out of, but the marketing ones and the growth ones I'll be a part of, okay? So that's my 3, okay? So something I'm proud of, something I'm grateful for, something I'm excited about. Now this is like the weird part where you're like, is he actually going to ask us to talk to someone next to us? The answer is yeah. So you have 2 minutes. You're just going to turn to, usually if I was running the conference and I had the full day and Avi was like, Ed, the schedule's yours, I'd make you stand up, do a Tony Robbins. And but today we're just going to turn the person next to you and say, look, here's something I'm proud of, something I'm grateful for, and something I'm excited about. You guys ready? Say, I'm ready. All right, there you go. You got 2 minutes. The first person should be wrapping up, moving on to the second person. Thirty seconds. Talk faster. Five, 4, 3, 2. All right. Thank your partner. You guys can carry that conversation on the first break. So, how many of you felt like a little bit of that resistance where you like knew I was going to say, okay, you got to engage. You don't have to raise your hands, keeping yourself, but like you felt that little bit of resistance. I want to challenge you for the next day and a half or so, whether it's in the hallways, whatever it might be, just, get out of the comfort zone a little bit. There's people that are just like you. They have their visions, the dreams, the goals, whatever it might be, maybe resistances. I always have resistances when I travel, so I want to congratulate you on being here. Just by being here, you've separated yourself from 97% of the population, whether you were dragged here, whether you're, but if you signed up as one of the doctors and you're bringing team members or you're bringing yourself here, these are unique environments. One of the quickest ways to close any gap in life is to find a mentor, find a model, and then follow that. And so we'll talk more about that today. Just want to congratulate you on that first. So today, I didn't know I was keynoting, so I'm super grateful and thankful to Avi and Dr. Mark for that. So we're going to be talking about the game-changing dentist. And I'll tell you why I've actually come back in dentistry and why the timing was right, what is different now than what was happening, say, 15 years ago, 13 years ago, and just a little bit about the journey and why it's uniquely different. So how to stand out, be seen as the #1 authority, and win the best cases. Who would like that? Say, I would. You can play along. Say, I would. There you go. I got you. I got someone looking at me and playing along. Let's see here if this works. All right, we'll just do that one. All right, so the #1 new way to get an extra 5 to 25 new sleep or dental implant cases to your office. Now, I have a super simple formula. We're going to keep it simple. Is that we target one target market with pain, one proven message, and we build trust before they ever walk in the door. I'll get you the slides. You don't need to take pictures of the whole slides the whole time. So just relax and enjoy the thing. And so where I had tons of success was with dental implants because it clicked for me, like when I was helping dentists. And I'll show you an example of it, and I'll show you examples today. But I always wondered when I was working with dentists, why aren't they spending more time on sleep apnea? Now, you could actually, and this is, go back 15 years ago, for me, the marketing angle and the pain angle and the ability to have people raise their hand and say, like, this is me, has never been easier than today, okay? And I'll explain that. It's never been easier to target, let me go back a step. I'll read that off for you guys. It's never been easier, like for the cost of a cup of coffee, you can break down your whole dental practice, whether you're just only doing sleep. I'm going to talk to the whole room like everyone's running a general dental practice with sleep as a profit center niche, okay? And so if I screw up any of my languaging, just forgive me, or not. But one target market. So if I look at a whole practice, and when I say target market with pain, I look at like denture sufferers, missing teeth, and then I look over here, like terrified of going to the dentist, and I look over here of, like with sleep, is like, you look at CPAP non-compliant, okay? That's one target market with a lot of pain, and you guys, it's a massive market, as you know, or else you wouldn't be here, right? And so even though if we have a full practice, our marketing targets one target pain at a time. And we have a system called a catch-all system too. But that's how you just cut through the clutter. And for like a cup of a coffee, or the cost of a cup of coffee, you can literally be the most dominant person in your 10, 20, 30-mile radius, whatever radius you want to get, for very little amount, low budgets, okay? Now, this is Dr. Keenan K. This is the first client I just took on when I came back into dentistry. This is a little braggadocious, so just give me like 2 seconds, and then I'll say it. But I know a lot of people have asked about marketing on here. This is in an implant group. I just started working with Ed O'Keefe. He's been killing it, blah, 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 whatever. We've tailored the marketing implants. It's been far the best marketing money I've ever spent. And then he talks about working with another company, and I'm going to skip. I don't like picking on other people. But he was spending 8 to 12 grand a month, and literally for 30 bucks a day, we got him more results in 2 weeks than he got with that whole thing. Now, a lot of reasons for that. First case was 12 grand in less than 2 weeks. He reactivated a $23,000 case immediately because I teach you this. We do this for you. Like, inside your existing patient base right now, there's enough money right now or people around you to pay for anything iOS is charging you for the next 10 years, probably in the next 60 days. Like, we can do that. The reason being is because we like us, we live and breathe this. Like, for the next 2 days, this is all you're doing. The people who know you aren't thinking about you. They don't really care what you're doing this weekend. They don't care what I'm doing, okay? It becomes 1,000% our responsibility to make sure that they're aware, that they understand the problems, that they understand the options, and then we position you. It's your job to do that. It's not their job, okay? So how many of you ever wonder, like, if people just knew what we do that transforms lives, this would be the most logical no-brainer. How many of you ever thought of that? Like, you have that, like Jeff and I were talking, Dr. Hawkins, can you raise your hand real quick? Or Jeff, Dr. Jeff, raise your hand. Old Dennis Profit's client of mine. We were talking about how'd you get into sleep? Why? It's just different than, like, sure, you can make people's smiles better, but when people have comorbidities or they have the opportunity of dying and not waking up, guess what? You're not going to have a slow July. You're not going to have a slow December because guess what? People can't put that off. Does that make you're not in your head? So either like you're like, yes, this makes sense, or this is a great talk. Which one? Both. Thank you. So last night I'm texting Keenan. I was like, hey, dude, I heard you because I'm working with his team pretty closely. How did the 2 appointments come in? He's like, good. The one guy signed up for $24K, paid half of it today. And that might not be a lot of money for some of you. Every $24K matters. It kind of adds up. And this is what I wanted to point out. Same dude that missed 4 appointments. Think about this. One of my team members said, dude, why? Like, I shared it. I'm like, look at Keenan just got another big case came in. He goes, don't share the part about the missed appointments. I said, dude, that's the whole point. The guy, you don't know what's going on in that guy's life. He might have a sick kid. He may have this, whatever. So he's like trying to scramble. Like he thought he missed one of the appointments because he thought it was on Wednesday, not Tuesday. Like, I mean, maybe our staff needs to do a better job of actually communicating with him. Like, how can we? But anyhow, my point is like, you use AI automation and education, which I'm about to show you. Guess what? There's found money sitting inside your acres of diamonds in your backyard right now. So I'm super excited to be here with you, okay? And they had another one coming in, and he said something about that as well. And my clicker's not working, or I'm just not working it. It's probably my fault, guys. I don't know what's going on, but it's not working. So this is the old way of marketing of sleep dentistry or sleep apnea, and this stuff does not work. How many of you have ever seen any stuff like this, right? Like CPAP tying you down. I'm sorry, that person got probably an MBA from an advertising school, and they're like, look what I could do for you. CPAP tying you down. I don't understand that at all. But it's cute. It's slogans. Never going to bring in a patient ever in your entire life. They don't care about, like, okay, I've seen the mask. I've seen that. You want to see what you got here, Raven? Thank you. The other thing here is I just want to bring this up here real quick. Sleep apnea free consultation. The reason why we don't do marketing, I'm not opposed to that if you are running like a lot of patients through your practice. But I'll show you a way that's completely different. This stuff just doesn't work because it just doesn't work. But now I'm going to show a few examples about dental implants, and we'll come and I'll bring a full circle to sleep apnea. So this one here is an interview I did with Dr. Keenan Cave. That's my system. Really, really simple. We look at it, your pains and problems inside the thing. We interview you, and I'll get into why in a second. But then I turn it into a little video ad. A little video ad. How many of you ever go on Facebook, Instagram, or any of the socials? Raise your hands. Okay. How many of you know what Facebook, Instagram, or any of the socials are? Okay, good, good. We're good. Okay. We're spending $15 a day leading with the #1 question that people have about dental implants, which is how expensive are they? That's a 4-minute video. 4-minute video. Patients are coming in at $8 per lead. Let me ask a question. If a person watches 4 minutes about the cost of dental implants, is that a qualified lead or someone who's unqualified? Very qualified, right? They're educated, right? Now I'll show you how we keep them in our bucket. Am I allowing this, bro? I think so. There you go, we're good. Guys. And now the other thing that we did was, Keenan said, I have 3 to 4 patients a day coming in mentioning the podcast video interview I was on. Okay? Patients, existing patients coming in. Why? Because we're able to take your existing inactives, active patients, upload them into Facebook, and for $5 to $10 a day, we can have you all in their feed all day long. Maybe not that much. It's a little weird. But you know what I mean. And so all of a sudden, you have people coming in. And so how many ever heard this before? Assets before income, right? You grow your assets, cash flow comes out of them, right? Well, what we're talking about here is authority, credibility, assets get built before cash flow and income comes in, right? The dental, this is something I never understood when I went into dentistry, like into helping dentists. I was like, why would you ever let somebody take up your chair time that has no idea who you are, doesn't really understand why they're in your office other than they think they have a problem? And then the number one thing all you guys hate doing is selling. You hate it. You never got into the profession to sell. So why create an environment where we're going to go, okay, hey, we're going to give a $37 for a free consultation about something, but we're not going to educate them at all until they're in the office. And then in a new environment, we're going to shove all this information down their throats, do all these evaluations, and then we're going to train the team to be better salespeople than me because I hate selling and I didn't get into dentistry to sell. Why don't you flip the whole thing? Why don't you use digital assets, invest in digital assets beforehand, use social media, AI, and all the automations that we have at our disposal today, and low budgets to get in front of them right now. And then so when the people come in, guess what? You're positioned as the authority. So that's how we run our system, and that's why it's totally different. And this allows you to say goodbye to the price-driven patients or confused patients, empty or wasted chair time, but instead you have pre-educated, pre-qualified, predisposed patients ready to move forward. How many of you would like that? Say, I would. All right, very good. Now, for any of you who knows who Stephen Covey is, right? Wrote the book, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People years ago, one of the legends in personal development. I'm just going to read one line on this, but he talks about nothing is more profitable than the economics of trust, right? How many of you, true story, you guys are willing to spend more money, you're willing to ignore all competition if you trust the person, and it's a pain, right? You go to 2 places, they're like, this is going to cost $15,000, this is going to cost $10,000, but what would you recommend if I trust you? Definitely go with the $15,000 item. Why? Well, because of this. And if you trust that person, you don't even look at the $10,000 item anymore. Is accurate statement? Yeah, absolutely. So especially if it's life-threatening or it is something that is causing massive, massive daily pain, frustrations, worries, concerns. Okay? Now, the thing is how many of you tried stuff before and it didn't work when it comes to marketing or advertising or getting your name out there, okay? Good. Yeah, the one who generates like 600 patients a week. Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing is like, I always say to people like when they're like, you know, I tried things and it didn't work. I'm like, oh, that's great. Like, did your parents ever have a fight before you were born? Well, probably. I'm like, wouldn't it have been great if they gave up on each other and you before it ever happened? Well, that's different. No, it's not. You know, stuff sucks and you are going to fail and you're going to test things. So that's the reframe on things, right? But one of the other things is once you find 1 or 2 things work, as Deming says, is 94% of all failures relative to the system, not the people. And so what I like to say is, this is what I want you to imagine before I get into tactics. I want you to imagine your dream patient or patients, the people you love to talk to, have the problems you love helping. Because once I show like video, you're going to be like, I suck on video, Ed. I can't do anything. Like, look at me. Stop. All that BS needs to leave the room, okay? Because we're gonna put the perfect scenario. You are helping your dream patient, the person you love, happy to pay, is going to rave all about you, and all we're going to do is take that conversation and make it known to everybody in your area. How many of you think if that was possible, you'd never have a patient shortage or never have any of these other issues that you deal with, right? So we're going to talk about doing that today. And how many also noticed that like things are getting a little bit cluttered in dentistry? It's getting a little saturated. You know, you got a lot of big budget, big centers trying to spend as much money. So one of the positive things about what I'm going to show you is that, listen, the algorithms are ready to work for you. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they want people to consume your content. So if Dr. A is spending $1,000 a day, I can spend $30 a day, and I can steal all the people that are clicking on him. So like Clear Choice, I like picking on them, right? They're spending all this money, right? If any of your patients, prospective patients in your area, click on a Clear Choice ad, and they're spending their $100 million a year, which I'm making that up, just so you know, and you're spending $30 a day, guess what? The next video they're going to see in their feed is yours. And if we do what I'm going to show you next better than them, you're going to be the person standing out doing everything different. Because like when you make like okay, so I was going to tell you this story. I want to introduce my family first before I did it, but I'll say this real quick. When my daughter was sick, and I'll show you pictures of her in a little bit, 3 years ago, my daughter got COVID, and then it ignited Lyme disease in her body, okay? This was before long COVID was a thing. No one knew what it was. Lyme disease, I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. It's just, it's like having a child that is hungover every day and then has strep every day. And they just come downstairs and they lay on the couch all day long. And so you take this beautiful, anyhow. So one of the things is that you will do anything in the world to solve that problem when it comes to, so you're not watching, oh, well, they're spending all this money. Good. Let them spend all the money. Let's do what we do better. And we're going to show you the frameworks. Because guess what? The person who's interested, who has the pain, who has the problem, who's like concerned about this, once they become aware of it, they're not consuming one thing. Okay? So we're just going to do it all better, and you're going to see how it's done here in a second. So be brave enough to suck at something new. I've been talking a lot. If you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. I can talk about this stuff for like hours, but so let's go on to this. So for 13 years, as Avi said, we already talked about this. This is the legendary Brian Tracy on my stage. Pretty amazing. But this was my crew back then. Okay? So this was what my crew looked like back when I was running Dentist Profits, young family. And then this is what my crew looks like today. Yeah, 7 kids, 20, 19, 18, 16, 13, and twins are 10, right? We're a little busy. There's only, I always joke, there's only like 2 things I'm actually good at in this world. You perverts, that's not what I was talking about. Let's talk about something totally different. But my love, I actually got my degree in nursing, and the reason I didn't go into it is because the teachers kept telling me you'll never, like I played collegiate volleyball, and they're like, you'll never be able to coach if you go into nursing, you got to do the 3rd shift, but I was like, screw this. So this was this year. This was our volleyball team. This is my daughter right here, Keegan. This is the one that was sick. We finished 3rd at AAUs. I was the head coach of this team, and then this is 3rd in the open division of national championship. So any sports like these, this is she was on a 21U national team, 19U national team. And every one of these kids is going big time. That's Texas, Wisconsin. She's going to recommit to another Big Ten school, Louisville. Amazing crew. This is where I feel most at home. Right here, in my kitchen, and on a volleyball court. I don't cook. I'm saying like in our kitchen. Our kitchen's like where our whole family's at, you know. And this is us in the semifinals of the national championships. And there's probably 600 people around. Every big-time college coach is watching. That's how good these kids are. So anyhow, I get chills. So last couple years, we finished 3rd in the country, back-to-back. So if you ever, when I start talking about winning and competing and doing things and modeling, it's because that's how winning gets done, and it applies to everything, okay? I'm not a golfer. We became a golf family 4 years ago. It's my son, Michael. He's playing college golf. He picked up golf in his 8th grade year, and it's so interesting. Like, I could just talk about this for a moment. Do you know how, like, your whole life sometimes you fight and resist the things that you're like meant to do? Seen a lot of people here who are like, yeah, I've been practicing. I want to do more sleep and and it's like give yourself permission to do it. Mike took a golf lesson, and I grew up I'm one of 13 kids. blue collar family, south side of Chicago, we don't golf. So when my wife was like, I'm gonna take Mike to get a golf lesson, I was like, no, you're not. And so I was out of town. Next thing I know, Mike got a golf lesson. And next thing you know, it's 10:30 at night, and I hear like stuff in our backyard. I'm like, what the hell's in our backyard? So I go outside, and there he is with headphones on, hitting a ball into the net at the age of 14. We got him a coach, got him a mentor. That is the system. You get a coach, you get a mentor, you get a model, you get a plan, and you replicate it. We did that. He went downstate 3 times in Illinois. Now he's playing collegiate golf. And the coolest thing that I'm just loving, this is my little 10-year-old Eddie, is like, is now his little brother gets to, through osmosis, gets to leapfrog and time collapse. This is the book I wrote, Time Collapsing. I'll talk about that a little later. Because of the osmosis. So you may not realize I'm talking about you right now. Being here through osmosis, you are already making gains, right? We're already getting pulled forward. And this picture right here was when he had his best round at state, and another proud moment, okay? All right, so you ready? Let's talk about the solvable problem that you're facing, okay? So the solvable problem is this. Ed, how do we get more pre-qualified, pre-interested, educated patients and let people know we're the authority, okay? At any point moving forward, you can raise your hand and ask questions. The key on this is that in the past, when I went into dentistry, I didn't really know what I was doing, guys. I really didn't. I was 25, I came into dentistry. I did it purely because I needed to go into a market. Like, I loved marketing, but I needed to go into a market that I could actually help businesses that had money and that could acquire patients or customers that had money. That was you guys, okay? So hire guys like me now, not when I was 25. But anyhow, I went over to my parents' house. My parents are passed away now, but they were in their late 70s, and they both had dentures. And I just sat and asked a bunch of questions, like, what do you not like about your dentures? Why do you, whatever? And I just asked them questions. I went home and I wrote this little ad that is a newspaper-style article. And what's the first thing that comes to mind when you see it? It's ugly. There's no way a dental office should put anything out like that. Well, this was, a little bit ago before the internet really became hot. And then we would send them to like a free report, whatever. This little ad worked time and time again. We'd put it in local newspapers, and it was positioned as content. And so when you position stuff as content versus advertising, it'll get a 5,000 to 10,000 times viewership. Because the best message never read or never consumed is never going to make a difference. Does that make sense? And so this thing just took off like gangbusters, and that was the beginning of my dental implant territory exclusive program. Did extraordinarily well for a lot of people, okay? And then who knows who this guy is? Dr. Bill Blashford? Anyone know who he is? So Bill's retired now, but he was a consultant for many years. So Bill calls me out of the blue. I'm kind of going back to how I stumbled into what I do now. Calls me out of the blue, comes for a day of consulting at my house because he was growing his coaching business. And he says, okay, good. I want you to help my team. So he hires me to work with his team. I get on one call, and I call him up, and I say, Bill, here's the deal. We're going to be 4 months down the road, 6 months down the road, and your message that you're sharing about what we're asking about, what you're selling, is never going to get communicated properly. Why don't I just interview you? Because I already know in my head, guys, I already know, I could see the whole clock in my head on, we're going to call out all the problems. We're going to get the quick little backstory. We're going to go through all the benefits. I'm going to play kind of stupid and ask a bunch of 101 questions that a prospect would ask. Then I'm going to bring up all the objections, right? And then we're going to get to the close. And then I'm going to help you, to Bill, I'm going to sell it for you. So, for example, if I was able to make price disappear from the prospect's mind, wouldn't that be a benefit? So what I said to Bill is, I was like, okay, so when someone buys your coaching club or your thing, it's really just the equivalent of getting one new implant, like one implant, not the whole thing. It's literally one implant. Yeah. And once they learn XYZ in the first 15 days, the price completely disappears. Oh my gosh. So really all the mentoring they're getting is absolutely free. That's exactly right. So he didn't have to sell. What I found in my life is that real experts, people that love their craft, that love like what they do, that feel like it's artistry or whatever it might be, God's, they're doing their thing. They hate selling it, right? They just hate it. Like I feel like I changed my posture. I gotta it's gonna constipation, okay? And then you wonder why aren't they buying? Well, because you change. You go from the helpful servant to like this. But what if we made it super easy? So this is kind of like what happened. The only rule I ever had, and we just actually had to change this with Dr. Cave. The only rule I had was no salesperson is allowed to pitch the offer or the proposal until they consume the interview. Why? Because you don't even have the context right for me to now sell you. Why would I bring up a price point if you don't have the context right? Does that make sense? And so this kind of brought down, what started happening is I started getting, one expert after another would reach out. They're all selling high-ticket stuff. This is an attorney, literally added $2 million to his law practice simply by doing videos on YouTube. And I'm sharing that just because the game has changed. That's how people consume information. And so why did I come back to dentistry? Why did I, because I knew I wanted to come back to dentistry, but just things started happening where I get a call out of the blue from a doctor who's trying to sell his dental practice who's an old client of mine. And he starts complaining. He's like, I can't sell my practice. I can't sell my practice. He goes, I'm in a horrible location. I'm in a horrible location on paper, but people don't realize that up in Upper New York, it's actually the perfect place to buy a practice for a new person who wants to buy. Okay, whatever. I don't know if this is interesting or not, but I said, okay, why don't I interview you? Let me pitch it. Let's pitch it. Your broker's never going to pitch it. So we started doing this, right? And so anyhow, we did a video. Then we said, hey, he does dental implants. So then we flew out to my house. We did 2 interviews in one day. Piece of cake, takes 3 hours, right? I do all the hard work. You don't have to do work. This is easy. You just get to get interviewed. So that kind of brought me back into it. But the first guy that we got live was Dr. Keenan. Same thing. He's in Indianapolis. I drove down to his office and I interviewed him, right? And we have, this is like a sleep example. I'll read these in a second, right? So that's what it would look like. So how many of you have seen there's companies out there that are charging 15 to 25K and you create these amazing, gorgeous, beautiful videos like the ones I'm showing you, yet nobody views them. How many of you have seen that, right? Blows me away. You can go I'm going to show a couple examples. But what we could do is we could take your area, circle that around, pretend that's your area. I know, is anyone from Schaumburg, Illinois? That'd be kind of coincidence and freaky. Cool. Okay. Where are you from? Oh, man, that's amazing, right? You're kind of one layer below Schaumburg. No, I'm kidding. I'm from Beverly on the south side. Yeah. Do you know where that's at? Pretend. Just pretend for the crowd, yeah, man. No, you know where Oak Lawn is? I live in Chicago. I know people from Naperville don't want to go into Chicago. They're like, we try and not get carjacked. Oh, no, everything you read on the news is totally true. No, it seriously is. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so anyhow, we take this area, so that's why we only work with one area, one dentist per area, and we go boom. I could put drop a pin right there. And you could say, Ed, you see where Schaumburg smiles. And we only want to target Rolling Meadows, Arlington, that 10-mile radius right there. And we could take a video, the gorgeous video you spent $25,000 for, and we can syndicate that to all those people, right? Think of the rich, that little suburb right by you that has all the money. You want them in your office? Or that senior community that has money and you're like, I want them in my office, but I don't want this area. You can do that in Facebook and Instagram and Google. It's unbelievable. You don't have to spend. I was talking to somebody who's spending $25,000 a month in dental advertising. I said, how much are you spending on Google? They're like, $9,000. I said, bro, let me audit your account. I absolutely guarantee $8,000 of that is a complete waste. This came to my next question. How are you paying them? oh, we pay them 30% of ad spend. Do you see where the incentive is? Spend money. So that agency, if like you're my Google guy, just spend the money. We know the 2 keywords that actually work. He's not checking. It's all good. Get us to 8,000. We need you to make $3,000 net profit for us. Okay? That's how it works. It's kind of silly. It's a lot of waste. Okay? So we're able to take that, right? So what we're able to do is take his long form interview and chop it up. You guys can't see it from here, so I'll read this off. At least I don't know if you can or not. The one video here says, how expensive are dental implants, right? This video here, I got to read it right here. I got my contacts in, so I can't read anything. This video here says, why are people raving about local dentists and the Miracle Dental Implants? Goes through all the bullets, benefits. And we're able to take the small little area, and these videos, boom, 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 are just carpet bombing that area. Okay? Oh, objection 1. When I was thinking about like dental implants, price expensive. So I just kind of want to address that in straight on is, let's walk through the different ranges of fees and then what are the options for patients, because obviously they're out there, they're doing the research and they're looking for a practice they can trust.
Totally. So I'll see a lot of, thinking about doing research, I see a lot of ads that have a bunch of crazy prices and things on them. They're kind of ridiculous because...
Okay, so I'm not going to bore you with the 4-minute video. Or you might like it. You guys liking this, by the way, so far? Is this an interesting top? Okay, so that we take that 4-minute video and we run that as an ad. 2 things I want to point out. Number 1 is, it'll cost me, and I'm going to show you the cost like to get views on this, but do you notice how Keenan was kind of like, like how he talks? There's little ahs and ums. Do you notice I didn't cut them out? Right? Because my theory, this is always the first objection, like, oh, I'm ugly, or I'm not good on camera, or I'm not really good. Shut up. Like we're not in 3rd grade anymore, right? And here's the truth. You're doing a disservice to the person you can help most. And guess what? If you are yourself, why would you ever want to be anyone who you're not? You're going to attract people that you don't want. So I told him, he's like, hey, what should I wear? I'm like, what do you wear? What do you want to wear? Like if he was like, Ed, I want to wear a tie suit and look really sharp and be, dude, then let's do that. But you're in Indianapolis in the suburbs. I'm from the Midwest. And how do you dress on it? I just wear scrubs. That's what we're wearing, bro. We're good. Life's good, man. Just be yourself. Don't worry about a thing. I always say the other thing about this is I'm like, we can edit anything, right? And with AI soon, you don't even have to be there. I won't even have to be there. It'll be amazing, right? So we bring up money early. I don't want anybody walking into my dental practice for anything unless they have the idea of range of fees, right? We can't quote you. We don't want to quote you on the phone because you don't know the context yet, but you should have an idea of starting costs and like at least a range, right? Okay, so let's go to the next one here. When I was thinking about like dental implants, price expensive. So I just kind of want to address that. Okay. Did I screw it up? Just bear with me. And I think I'm running so far behind my schedule. Let's see if this one works here. So this is what I call a call out, and I do it for the doctor. Hey everybody, it's Ed O'Keefe, and welcome to another episode of Leading Dental Experts in the Miracle of Dental Implants. Today, I'm on with a really special guest, Dr. Rick Dunn of Chemung Family Dental out of Elmira, New York. If you're someone who is missing teeth, you have dentures or partials, full mouth dentures, you're frustrated, or you just have failing teeth that you know you need something stronger, more permanent, or you've just been putting off dentistry and you're looking for the right dentist to help answer your questions and provide the treatments that you deserve. Today, we're going to ask Dr. Dunn a bunch of questions about dental implants, restorative dentistry, a little bit of cosmetic dentistry, and all the great things they are doing at Chemung Family Dental. So stay tuned here. Rick, welcome. Okay, check that out, right? So, hey everybody, it's Ed O'Keefe, and welcome. Okay. The reason that's really important is I could take that first 37 seconds of that clip and we run that as a separate ad, right? No one's clicking on that ad or watching 100% of that video unless they're what? Have all of those symptoms and problems, right? So if I was doing that in sleep apnea, it's very, very simple. Hey, if you've ever been told that you stop breathing when you're sleeping, if you've chronic snoring, if you have this and you go through all the symptoms, did you know that 80% of the population, millions of people, are walking around with a life-threatening, are we able to say disease or okay, disease, and have no clue? Did you also know that your local dentist can actually help evaluate and provide solutions, especially if in the past you've experienced or you've been CPAP non-compliant? Now, here's what's even cooler. You can take that last part I just said and stick it right at the top. Hey, have you tried CPAP and it didn't work out for you? You know, tired of X, tired of Y, sleeping in a different bedroom? Great. Well, today I have on Dr. Mark Murphy, doctor of Indianapolis, Indiana, blah, blah, blah. And you go through the same thing. No one's going to watch that, consume it, click on it, go to the next step unless they are that person. And so that's how we can carpet bomb the area and then draw people in on that, right? So, here's what I want to show you though. This is pretty powerful. Do you remember how I said like some agencies are going to be like, hey, you need to spend 5, 10 grand a month just to get awareness? That's such crap. Like, look at this. With Keenan, we're spending, this is just one campaign. This isn't his whole campaign, but down at the bottom, $10, $3, $3, $3, $3, $2, $2, $2. These are those same ads I just showed you. Because once one person clicks on anything in his area, I now stay in front of them for $2 a day. Now watch this. This video, 4 minutes long, has 3,326 people in his 10-mile radius who've watched 25% of that. That's, I'm going to make this up, that's 90 seconds, right? No one watches 90 seconds of a dental implant cost-expensive thing unless they are interested in it. Fair? Okay. And then he's got 721 people down here to the right that have watched the entire thing. Watch this. It costs them $242. It's a little bit different way of getting. So you can go buy your billboard for $20,000 or 10 grand to get your name out there, or we could spend $30 a day to $50 a day to absolutely annihilate your area and get everybody upset that you're just like famous all of a sudden. And really, I mean, honestly though, it's to help more people, right? So now you have, I'm going to move through these. Now here, Brandon, I pulled this off of YouTube for you, brother. Okay? What's that? Okay. But here's what I want to point out. This was 6 years ago, and he only has 235 views. Okay? Now, we could take this same video today. Watch this. This is so good. This is a great example of the content is phenomenal. Okay?
Snoring is not normal,
just get right to him.
And some people snore, and some people that snore also stop breathing at night. And people that stop breathing at night multiple times during their sleep have sleep apnea, and it's a disease where the tongue is falling back into the airway at night, and it's preventing them from getting the oxygen they need. And this can have a lot of harmful effects. Not only to
okay, so you get the rest of it. Now, what I would do here is I would take that no, I mean, he's great, but I mean, I already realized I'm like running way behind time. But now watch this. So I would change, instead of it sleep apnea treatment, because guess what? He talks about the symptoms and the problems with snoring, and then what is the actual physical thing that's happening. Guess what? Change the headline of that. Is snoring a symptom of a bigger problem? Take this video, download the MP4, stick it up on Facebook, 5 cups of coffee a day in the surrounding area. Actually, with someone with your flow that's already coming through, he could do that just off people who've ever visited his website in his like 5, 10, 15, 30-mile radius. And this concept, this would work immediately today. Now, would I upgrade the video a little bit? Possibly. But guess what? People with problems don't care.
Snoring is not normal. And some people snore.
There we go. They want a solution. They want to know who to trust to get the solution, okay? Okay, so let's bang through a couple things here, right? I'm gonna move quickly. Where did I steal like this from? Why does this work? Who recognizes all these people? Right. Tony Robbins, you got Cindy Crawford, we got Larry King, and they all are in the infomercial business. Now, most people don't realize this. Tony Robbins became famous with Personal Power, and he was interviewed by who? Does anyone know? Legendary football Hall of Famer Fran Tarkenton interviewed Tony. When Cindy Crawford came out with her skin cream in the infomercial, Valerie Bertinelli interviewed Cindy, right? You go down to Larry King. He made a whole living on transference of trust by interviewing people, like the fish oil thing, right? The gold thing, like anything that they sell on infomercials, they did it. And so the question I always asked was like, well, if the most difficult place to sell people is in infomercials, did you guys know that, by the way? Because they have the remote control. And like, they use interviews. Why are they using interviews? Can anyone tell me why they're doing that? They trust it? Why? Well, why? You getting why? Because it seems like it's a show. So they consume it. If they know they're being sold, the click off rate is so much higher. Okay? So it builds instant trust and credibility in your area. And then so we communicate using proven frameworks, and then it's also TV. Why is this important? So the trend now is this. YouTube, how many of you guys have YouTube TV now? Okay. So after somebody opts in, does anyone ever register at any of your pages? Like they opt in at your site to get more information? Try this. Send them to a YouTube link instead of a page when they opt in. Like, thanks for registering. The information is here. Send them to YouTube. Don't send them to your page. Why? How many of you listen to podcasts on YouTube or video? More of you. Yeah. How many of you consume all your information on YouTube? That's what you do. You don't even do anything else. So in my family, we watch YouTube TV. We consume video. Like I don't go to Spotify anymore. I just use YouTube for everything. That's where people go to find their trust. Mr. Beast, all he does is post on YouTube. He's worth over $10 billion. This dude's Alex Hormozi. His net worth grew from $100 million to $200 million in just investments. He stopped paying for ads and he just started double down on YouTube. That's the big thing that it comes. Whether you like Joe Rogan or not, Trump's going to like him today. He's interviewing Trump today. But he got a $100 million offer from Spotify. Why? Because personal branding is becoming the new, I already shared this story about Keegan, but man, isn't she amazing? Man, if you want to talk about something, I'll talk to you on the side. Personal branding is the thing that moves the needle, whether you like it or not. Rock is okay, you guys can woo, but he's an average actor, not a great singer. Was a mediocre football player, and he's worth like $1 billion. Why? Because he quadrupled down on being unique and different. Okay, this is unique and different. Logan Paul, right? Sugary energy drink that nobody likes. It boomed off his personal brand, right? Kylie Jenner, multi-billionaire by the age of whatever. I mean, once the Diddy tapes come out, we'll see what happens. But all off the back of a brand, right? So how do we apply this to sleep apnea? And I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I'm going to wrap this up. Are you guys liking this? Yeah. I'm like throwing 3 hours in like 45 minutes. And we don't need Murphy. We don't. I don't know, man. When I think of Murphy, I think Guinness and I think Irish pub. That's where we you guys know my name's O'Keefe. When I saw Murphy, I was like, this is amazing. It's like the Southside reunion. This is this is going to all come full circle in about 2 seconds, right? Awareness, interest, consideration, intent, evaluation, and purchase. There's a term I like to use called a catch-all, okay? A catch-all would look something like this. So how many of you came from the East Coast to get here before you showed up? Okay. How many came from the West Coast? Okay. Yeah, I know. You guys are all leaving. Are you going back? Eventually? How many are from the Midwest? How many don't know where you're from? Okay, go on. Okay, so, and like, watch my hands. I just brought us all together. It's so great to have. Oh, how many are from outside of the States? Yeah, see, I wouldn't ask that question, right? That's a catch-all. I just caught the whole room, right? So now if you have a new patient from I'm unaware all the way to purchase, how do we catch all of that, right? And be only talking to qualified people, right? So let's go through it. This is where dentistry is going wrong. Dentistry and most advertising agencies lead with price, cost, and a deal up front. And so when dentists say to me, like, I'm so tired of price-driven patients, well, stop advertising for them, right? Think about it. And there's context where it works. I'm not negating everybody, but it only focuses on the bottom 1%, 3% of the market that are ready right now, okay? Most people don't even know they have a problem and that you are a solution for them. So all the opportunity, if you're going to write anything down, all the opportunity in the heavy lifting is going up. 97% of the people in your area don't even know that you have a solution. I'll go off on it. I'd say about 99.9% of the people in your area don't even know that you can help them. Okay? They just don't. They don't. When I was prepping for this event, I go to pick up my kid at volleyball, and I'm talking to an old friend of mine. Like, I just bumped into her. I was like, how's it going? How's your mom and dad? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, how's your brother Joey? Joey, oh, he's using a CPAP machine. It's awful. He's up all night. He's special needs. And okay, I'm like, do you know that like dentists have solutions for that? It might be worth looking at. She goes, really? Then she immediately went into like, my brother-in-law has it. He sleeps in a separate room. It's like the awareness thing just pops off, guys. And so what we do is, tired of CPAP, frustrated, lost her hope. Did you know? Is it possible that a dentist can help you with our videos? Why are people raving about a local dentist helping patients with sleep apnea? Now, take his face off that, put your face on it, and then say, new treatment options, have patients breathing, smiling, and sleeping better than ever. If you or a loved one has sleep apnea, or you can relate to any of these symptoms, and then I run through all the symptoms, guess what? Either they're going to relate to it, or spouses are going to relate to it, or someone you know is going to relate to it. And all of a sudden, you take that little video, being interviewed on a podcast, is now syndicated everywhere. Now, this one is specifically targeting who? CPAP, right? How big's the audience? And the reason why I like this is because they've already gotten the, the sleep test. They've already been through it. They've already gone through losing hope and experiencing learned helplessness. And here comes along somebody with the new solution they never knew about. They're not going to price compare. They're not going to doctor compare. They are going to trust you implicitly, right? That's how you take them out of a competitive vacuum. Say goodbye to the snoring. Obviously, why? Snoring is a symptom, right? We target a pain point in the market, and then we have the content, because I like calling it out, okay? And then we carpet bomb. That's how we get the whole catch-all of the entire patient cycle all at once, okay? And then we carpet bomb them, okay? You could geofence your area, spend $30 to $50 a day. If that's too much for you, well, you've got to reevaluate life. But spend less than that. No, it's okay. Seriously, like, spend less than that. Like, if you're someone who's like, oh, I'm afraid of marketing, never works, blah, blah, blah. Okay, spend $30 a day for 30 days using a good piece of content that helps solve a problem, and just be amazed at how people start showing up in your practice that have known you for 15, 20 years and never realized you can help them. It'll blow you away. Okay, and this is a little more complicated. I'm going to skip through this just because this is a typical dental ad that you'll see. Like, hey, for a limited time, get a single implant for $1,750. That's price-driven marketing. Okay, that will only bring in people that are like have already evaluated 6 doctors or da-da-da. They're the price-driven shopper. I'm not crapping on it. If your office is built for that, just realize you're leaving 97% of the population out of your marketing. Okay, so. That guy. Let's see, move along. Okay, so one doctor per area. I want to show you that. This is this stuff. I can go into this, but it's just the change in marketing is 7 hours of content, 11 touch points, 4 mediums is the new like data that Google put out. When people are making big decisions, they're looking to consume content. They do it in micro bursts. That's why we got to have content We take the content, like say from the interview, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and then you build your own little channel. We put it on another channel, and that's how you become the authority in your area, okay? I'm gonna move a little bit through this because I wanna see if there's any like last questions. We put them through a funnel, and I think this one's brilliant. Has anyone ever told you that you stop breathing while you sleep? It's a great question. Immediately when my wife was waking me up with her snoring, I was like, babe, we gotta get you to a doc. I'm not even joking, but I was like, oh my God, you probably have sleep apnea. This is not a joke, right? So, I mean, it's the only life-threatening thing that dentists can really solve people with besides that. How much time do I got, Raven? Or anybody? 5 minutes, perfect? Okay, cool. Has this been valuable? Really? I mean, is this something that can everybody see how they could apply this to their dental practice, right? Okay, here's the thing on this, right? For those of you who think you suck on camera, let me just address that. That's always the thing. Like, Ed, I don't really need to be famous. It's not about you, okay? Number two, when you could take, like I showed, part of me showing Dr. Brandon stuff is if you've already spent money on content, come see me. I'll be here. We could repurpose content you've already spent. That's number one. Number two is, if there's somebody better on your team that communicates better, we hand it off to them as well. We do a dual interview, okay? So it doesn't have to put all the pressure on you, okay? We're using AI for almost everything we do now, and I was gonna do a presentation on this. I'm gonna kind of skip this, but when you start doing marketing, we take all of this and we fill it in and use AI to like make it your life easier with your team, okay? I wanna get to my quick action strategies. These are actually booking appointments right there and sending pre-sale information all through AI. This is all AI, by the way, all AI generated. Like, so we do the videos and then we answer questions for patients with it. Now, all right, cool. Here's your quick action strategies. Number one, you already know the 5 questions you get on a daily basis, weekly basis that people have, okay? Write those down and shoot 60-second little videos for them, okay? You can do this today. You can post it up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Now, here's step 2 on this, right? I want you to send out a text message to your patient base. And it would say something like this. This is how you're gonna get all your money back for this weekend, by the way. It's gonna be really cool. You're gonna do a video. I don't have my phone on me, I threw it in my bag, but it's gonna look like this. Be like, hey, it's Dr. Ed. I'm out here in Puerto Rico learning about all the new innovations of helping our patients with sleep apnea. Did you know, and you can have somebody actually record it for you, did you know that, I forget the stat, forgive me, okay? Did you know that 78 million people in the US today are walking around with chronic sleep apnea and they have no clue about it? And did you also know that we can actually help get you evaluated, and we have devices actually at the office where we can do it right here in the office. You don't have to, and whatever your thing is, because I know some people do a little differently. If you can relate to this, if you or someone you love has sleep apnea, or this sounds like it might be you, or you've tried CPAP and it didn't work, call our front desk today and we'll get you scheduled this week. This is life-threatening. We don't put this off till next year. We get it taken care of now. If you did something similar to that, I can help you. I'll be here for 2 days. You're gonna get phone calls on Monday and Tuesday. That's how quickly it can be done. Now, if you took that and then actually spent $5 a day, a cup of coffee around your little area, you are going to get people going, holy crap, I didn't know you do that, okay? This is simple stuff. I know it's like foreign for some of you guys, so if it's like, I don't even know, I'm here for the next day and a half. Send out an offer to your email list, do the same exact thing. Now, the other thing is, Dr. Murphy's gonna be talking about your referral relationships. Guys, I gotta tell you this. Every single thing, and he's talking about like how to do it from a research perspective. One of the doctors I was talking to has nothing but referrals sending to him. what is the number one thing for a medical professional to send patients to you and work in harmony? What is the most important thing for that? What's that? Trust. So you can create content, get a list of all those people, and for $5 a day, run your interview over that professional population. It's a pretty good idea, right? And also, when your team does the reach out or someone does a reach out to get the one-on-one appointment, P.S. Hey, P.S. Dr. Murphy was just interviewed by leading expert dental or leading expert dentists on how we screen, evaluate, and recommend sleep apnea. It might be worth, if you want to take a look at it. So there's nothing. We never work from a cold or unknown place. Okay. I'm not going to have you do that. This is my cell phone. So I'm here for the next 2 days. I never give my cell phone out, so please don't abuse it. But I'm here for the next 2 days. I have a book that I wrote all about high performance and achieving your goals faster. Time collapsing. I think I have like 30 copies of it. I'll put it on a table out there. If you'd like, take a picture, get it signed. If you'd like a free copy, the first 30 people who grab it, they're not back there right now, so don't go crazy. Stay in the room. They're not there. I don't mean like you're just going to be really time collapsing and there's going to be, everyone got it. I'm happy to just I have nothing on my agenda the next 2 days except to be in the room and be of service to this group. So one last thing, Mark. We can obviously help you with that. Avi and I have talked about me coming to like one of the events and we doing it in conjunction with it. We'll figure all that out. So I hope you enjoyed today's first talk, and let's give it up for Dr. Mark Murphy. All right.